Alright. Hey guys. This video is going to be a little kind of long. Probably. It'll be a little while. Because I just wanted to kind of keep a record of this dream that I had probably 3 or 4 years ago. Well, it was probably about 3.5 years ago. Anyways, alright. So, in my dream, I'm going to be kind of trying to remember it as I'm doing the video because it was a few years ago and I'm trying to remember, but it was pretty vivid. So I remember most of the bigger details. Some of the finer things might come in as I'm going through. But I remember it was me, a couple of my brothers, my mom, my stepdad, and this woman who had cerebral palsy. And we were all sitting in a circle on the floor. We were sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor in a circle. And I remember looking over to my right, and I was telling my brother, Devin, I was saying, hey, oh no, oh God, help them. There's just somebody on the interstate right now who's got a smoking tire. I was just saying, sending a good word to them just now. We were sitting in a circle, and I looked over to my right, and I told my brother, I said, hey, look at that. And I was trying to show him these mountains, because there were some really, really beautiful mountains over here, like in the distance I could see, in the distance, but there were some clouds covering up the mountains. And when I told him to look over there, he couldn't see it. Like, I mean, but it was very, very apparent and obvious, very plain. It was right there in front of us. But there were clouds in front of it, and he said, I just don't see it. I don't get what you're talking about. Yeah, whatever. And then the clouds moved, and he could see it. And I was like, wow. I was like, man, that's amazing. And then I turned to this woman who had cerebral palsy. She was sitting on the floor, and like maybe she could stand up or something. But I prayed to God, and I asked her to be healed in Jesus' name, and she was healed. And it was like, and I've had many instances where this happened. Somebody's healed in my dream, just like, and then we're crying and everything, and everybody's so happy, and it's wonderful. But she's healed, and she stands up, and then we all stand up, me, my mom, and there's a lot of wind. Me, my mom, my stepdad, my two brothers, maybe it was my three brothers. Michael might have been there as well. And then this woman who had cerebral palsy who's been healed. We all stand up, and my mom's got this little flip phone. And she gets a phone call from Vladimir Putin. And if you don't know who that is, that's the president of Russia. And he calls her up, and he's trying to get her to do something. He's giving her an ultimatum, saying, you need to do this, and you will do this, or else something. He's going to come and do something bad. He said, you're going to do this or else. I knew it was Vladimir Putin. I knew it was him. Because you know how dreams work, you just know. When he gives her that ultimatum, he said, you do this or else. She says no. That's the only thing she says. The only thing she says. There's no other conversation. He gives her some big ultimatum or whatever, and then she says no. And slams the phone. Because it's a flip phone, so she just slams the phone. As soon as she does that, we immediately are in kind of like a fight stance, kind of. But it's a prayer stance. Immediately when that happens, we know that something's coming. Something's literally on the way to us now, right now. And that we need to get ready, right now. So she shuts the phone, and we all start heading like in one direction or something. And like we start walking. There's like these doors. It's all glass, and there's two doors. But it's like as if you were to enter into a kind of a big building or whatever, or like in a big if you see a big indoor pool, which is what it was a big indoor, like Olympic-sized pool area, but it's indoors, so there's usually glass to those doors to the entryway. And we walk through those glass doors, we get through it, and then there's this pool, just a whole bunch of water. And there's a ledge that can go around the pool if you don't want to swim through. I mean, we didn't want to swim through, we wanted to go around, because we were trying to get to the other side as quick as we could. So I start walking along the edge, but it's very narrow, and only one person can fit on the ledge at a time. And you gotta hear what I'm saying. Every little detail that I'm giving to you about this dream, every little detail, just the fact that only one person can go along the edge at a time, every little detail like that, or that there was water, or that it was a pool, or that it was Vladimir Putin that called me, every little detail like that has significance, and you've got to hear me whenever I'm saying that. Anyways, I started walking along the edge, and I make it a little ways down, and I hear my stepdad, who's also my pastor, and he was my pastor for a long, long time, for probably 10 years or so. And I hear him, and he's under the water. I look over, and he's under the water, in the pool, under the water, saying, "Help, help, help." And I heard him, and I immediately dove into the water. I dove in, and I grabbed him, and both of us, we swim back up to the top, and we start getting out of the pool and getting onto this ledge. But whenever I climb out of the water and get up on the ledge, and I'm standing there, there's this easel. An easel, what painters use to put their canvas on, so that they can paint real easily. You know what I mean? It's just standing there in front of them, and it holds the painting. There's an easel sitting there with a dry erase board, and it's got one line on there. I mean, it's got one sentence, because I think there was a couple of lines, but it was just one sentence. And from the moment I woke up that morning, whenever I had this dream, from the moment I woke up, I didn't know what that said on the dry erase board, and I still don't. So if somebody could give me some insight about that, I would accept it greatly. Thank you. Anyways, like if God reveals it to you what it said, but don't just like go out on a limb and like try stretching and like just trying to think of something to say. If God reveals it to you, you'll know it. Anyways, there was something written on the dry erase board, and it had significance, but I don't know what it said. So anyways, I keep walking along this edge, and now my pastor's right here behind me as well, or maybe he went in front of me, I don't know. So I'm walking along the edge, and there was like this big jut in the wall that goes out, so I had to go, and then, you know what I mean, and come back around, and go like that, just staying on the edge. Anyways, I keep going, and then I make it to the other end of the pool, and my stepdad and me, we both make it to the other side of the pool, and my mom's already there, my brothers are already there, and there's the exit. Again, it's all glass, and there's two doors. You open them up, and you go outside. So immediately when we go outside, everybody's there, and we all start holding hands. Immediately, we start holding hands, and we're starting to pray. And out in the distance, there's no light at all. It's all, there's the light as it was a huge storm, a massive thunderstorm that was right in front of us. And we were all holding hands and we were praying. And I don't remember much else of the dream. I think that was pretty much it. What I remember, man, we're at 10 minutes. Another thing that's also good. So I woke up from the dream and I was like, oh, and maybe I was sweating or something, but it was just very vivid, very, very vivid detail, and my heart was pounding. One of those dreams when you wake up. So I wake up and I'm like, oh my goodness, and I ended up going back to sleep. When I went back to sleep, in my second dream, Same night, second dream, after, I told one of my friends, her name was Stephanie Champion, because she's married now, but whatever. Her name is Stephanie Champion. I tell her in my dream about this dream that I had had. So I go back to sleep, and in that dream, I tell my friend about the dream that I had just had. And she didn't believe me, and she thought it was like, she was like, you know how some people that like hear about your dreams, and like you know that it has significance, and you know it means something, and you know it's from God, but that person just chalks it up to like, yeah, it was a dream, whatever, man, it doesn't mean anything. You were just dreaming. You do that every night, but and that's how she acted. She acted very like it didn't mean anything. She was like, oh, whatever. And then I woke up from that dream, and immediately I texted her, and I told her about the dream. And she acted the same way in real life about me telling her about the dream as she did in the dream. And I think that was God. I think that was God being a witness, telling me that I needed to pay attention to this dream. I needed to pay attention to it, and I needed to remember it. And here we are 3.5 years later, and um, I still remember much of it. Like, there's only one detail, really, that I don't remember, and that's about a dry erase board that had a sentence that said something on it. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, I love you guys. Pay attention to your dreams, and write them down. You know, just get into the habit of having your phone there, having like a notepad app or something, or a physical notepad as well. And just write them down. Get in the habit of whenever you have a dream, just write down anything that you remember about the dream, anything at all, period. Write it down, because it has significance, and you will benefit from going back and referencing it. Okay? I love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you later.